she say, getting no delay, run it like relay, bro, you ain't got it like this. In my part C straight, big fur jacket from eBay, looking timeless.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the world's steel capital in the city of Bridges, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and Acrisure Stadium. Today, we've got an interesting Week 11 matchup on tap, as it'll be the Cleveland Browns taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled it to 20.
Let's go now.
They'll start on the ground here on first down. Now he's able to break through one tackle, but it slowed him down enough that he could only manage getting back to the line of scrimmage. You look at this Steeler defense. They were terrific last week in the win over the Rams.
And the big difference in the game, their ability to force turnovers. Multiple, in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, the big difference in the game.
It was impressive. Now the question, can they duplicate it? They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Crowd getting into the bit already. Here's an early 3rd and 10. They'll set up to throw. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line.
They run the play fake. Here's Pickett. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. Well, this defense for the Browns very strong in that victory a week ago.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number, 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Browns are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line. Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points no matter what. At worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
They run on first down as they're able to get this forward for about 4.
The defense thought they had that play covered, but it still got driven backward by those blockers. Those types of plays are a key part of any team's offensive game plan. It all starts up front in the trenches.
2nd and 6. And this will be well too low for him to bring in. It's incomplete.
Really good coverage all over the field. It took away his intended read and almost dared him to try for his guy out of the backfield. No surprise on that one. It doesn't connect.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. And it's not going to be enough here. A gain of 4, about 2 feet short of the marker, 4th down.
This team doesn't mind running the ball in any situation, and I thought he was going to get the first down the way the play developed, but the defense closed in and stopped him just about a yard short.
And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. They'll try and run for it. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. Right back to him on first down. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for second down.
Ready, set.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. That's into the hands of Donovan Peoples-Jones. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. A good play there as the Browns strike for 16 and a first down.
First down, Cleveland.
19 Tiger.
They'll look to throw. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Steelers are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50.
Steelers take over first and 10 at the 50-yard line.
So good field position for the Steelers as they come up first and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. These two teams matching up for the second time this year. Their first meeting back in October, week 6. And it was the visiting Steelers who came away victorious, so they'll look to claim the season series with a win here in Pittsburgh. And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. 3rd and 2, Pickett. The 20, 10. He's going to pick up the first down and then some. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. George Pickens, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Steelers take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. The extra point up and good by Aubrey. And that makes the score 7-0. And this will be returned from deep in the end zone. And he returns this to the 22. The Browns drive about to get started. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
2nd and 4. And his throw is incomplete. You look at the Steeler defense. They were terrific last week in the win over the Rams.
And the big thing for them was the interceptions. And you hear teams all the time talk about establishing themselves against the pass. You know, no-fly zones and things of that nature. This group had a bunch of them in last week's game.
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. Cole Holcomb proving too much there for the offensive line. He gets the sack. The Browns send out their punter now, standing right on his own 5-yard line. Fielded at the 33. Call it 46 yards on the punt, just a single yard on the return as he was covered quickly. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. They currently sit 1 game over 500 thanks to their victory a week ago. But Charles, they've been really an up-and-down team all year. Do you think that they have enough to get into the playoffs?
Well, you did mention they've been up and down all year, so to me, it depends on what week you catch them. When they're at their best, I think they're definitely playoff worthy. But to me, they haven't been able to bring the intensity week in and week out.
And in for the Steelers touchdown. A great play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Steelers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Aubrey good with a PAT. And it's now 14-0. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble to bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27. The Cleveland offense ready to go. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. Now a throw here to his running back. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field, because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. And the Steelers are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They start near midfield following the interception as they begin 1st and 10. And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean, or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. That one a first down pickup of 8. The Steelers at 5-4 now on the year. And they were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset. Being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning. So they come in feeling good. They've got the home crowd behind them. I think they're going to be tough to beat in this one.
2nd and a couple. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. It looks like a nickel set now for the Browns on 3rd down. Pickett back to throw. Throw out wide, going to be incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
They already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Browns drive about to get started. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the 2nd quarter, but you're down.
Don't want to.
Well, no, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try to put some points on the board.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Well, this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other, because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting at once, you get first half scores just like this one.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run, because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
18 Rattler.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. He's continuing to be a big presence defensively. Remember last week, AFC Defensive Player of the Week, and a big pick right there.
And when you pile up big numbers, it gets everyone's attention. But sometimes the number just needs to be, how many game-changing plays did you make? Did you take the ball away from the other team? He just did that, trying to win the award again this week.
And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A great effort there with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Steelers are able to widen their lead here in this first half.
I know the play ends up in the end zone with one person carrying the ball, but how about that big mass of humanity that guided him to that spot?
Yeah, they got there, but I love the dive. Always a fan of the dive. The extra point up and good by Aubrey. And a rout is on here in this first half. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And we'll see a return here from the... And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And they'll have great field position here as the ball will be at the 15-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. They'll run on 1st down. It's Chapman. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. 1st down marker at the 5. It's 2nd and goal. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he goes backwards on this one. Losing yardage to the 7. So not a lineman, but the tight end instead this time, drawing the holding call.
And more what you're getting with tight ends are guys who are much more receiver than blocker. They may be willing, but that might not be their thing. Oftentimes, they'll be the ones getting the penalties.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Looking to throw, Pickett. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Quay Walker. And the Browns are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 7.
1st and 10 at their own 7-yard line.
Here we go. Start. 70 Rangers. 60 Mavericks. 60 Mavericks.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And boy, another ill-advised throw there as that will wind up incomplete. I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind up with safety.
Right now, they're just trying to get to halftime because they need a break. This game, it's been a shellacking in every way, and they just got driven backwards for a safety.
This is taken at the 23. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones, they find a way to put it aside. They're not happy about it by any stretch of the imagination. They find a way to put it aside and continue to play their game.
Can he put it aside? Oh, it's intercepted. They got Pickett for the 3rd time in this game. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line.
They'll take over 1st and 10 at the 24-yard line.
Let's go. 18, 5 here. Panther 11, Panther 11. Trap 60, Trap 60.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And he's going to go down here as sack. They push him back to the 34. T.J. Watt in there for a milestone sack as that moves him past Hall of Famer Michael Strahan, who finished his career with 141.5. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
They've had multiple opportunities on offense and still haven't scored any points. Felt like they wanted to loosen things up, throw it downfield, and see if maybe they could get a big play and a quick strike.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
So that, Charles, a season long right there.
And you know who's really excited about that? The special teams coordinator, because he's the one who has to tell the head coach in pregame, this is where we trust him from. This distance, he can hit it, and he repaid that trust by knocking that one right through.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Final 12 seconds of the half now as they've got it 1st and 10. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he'll work this back to right around the line of scrimmage and surrender there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. So time for the 2nd half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the 3rd quarter. Well, CD, you understand. I mean, they're so eager trying to get back in this game here in the 4th quarter, but they touched that one a little too early before it went 10 yards.
Brandon, in such a high-stakes scenario, everyone's feeling the pressure on this play. The special teams coordinator, which one is he going to pick in terms of...
And I think the ball's out. And this is picked up by the Browns. Well, if these guys wanted to get back in this game, they needed an almost perfect 2nd half, and down 3 scores. A lost fumble here certainly doesn't fit into that plan.
It reminds me of my plan in college to get an A on the papers I turned in, but that didn't work out too well either. Too many mistakes by both of us. I mean, that's just pure and simple. And that's why that's exactly where they are in this ball game. They're going to need a huge turnaround if they want to try and win this one.
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38.
A loss of 10 yards on the play. It's now 3rd down.
Throwing on 3rd down. Here's Pickett. And this one incomplete. And another throw that really could have been, maybe should have been intercepted. That would have been number 4. Instead, it's 4th down. He had the distance, but it's no good. Wide to the right. Well, that flag puts them on their heels a little bit more defensively as the officials walk it upfield.
Yeah, and they can blame the officials all they want, but bottom line, it's their own fault because, to me, that was an avoidable call. Stay focused and avoid major mistakes like that.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet. But they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
There's a quarterback who's learned his lesson. He's thrown a few interceptions so far. That time he said, I'm making sure nobody catches this one.
And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will extend their lead even further. So the fumble recovery had them set up in ideal field position, but they can muster only 3 points out of it.
Yeah, when you're able to force turnovers, especially when it results in field position like they had, you really want to make it hurt. Here, they take the field goal. That's definitely not what they were hoping for.
A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32.
At their own 32-yard line.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. 2nd and 10. Now back to throw. And that is incomplete here.
A couple of quick incompletions, and now they're just one more away from getting off the field. They've got options now. Could they dial up a blitz here or just drop everyone into coverage to crowd the throwing lanes?
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Mustang 19.
Boy, and now they can't even get a playoff. Just a little too lackadaisical, Charles, and they didn't get up and snap the ball in time. Delay of game.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if he understood where the clock was located. In different stadiums, it's in different places. You have to check that in pregame and make sure you're aware so you don't run into penalties like these.
Seven Pirates. Buffalo 18. 60 Bobcats. 60 Bobcats. Go.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And oh my goodness, here's a 5th interception. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick. And the Steelers will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line. Pickett leads the Steelers up here with a fresh set of downs at their own 43. Up the middle they go. It's Chapman, and he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there, 2nd down. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
Pickett. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
Cowboy 80. Buffalo 18. Take go.
Here's Pickett. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit.
There he goes, left side. Down the left sideline. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Steelers take the interception on defense and convert it into 6 points. Aubrey good with a PAT. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. The Browns drive about to get started. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. Or win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles. But I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for.
And now here is another interception. Picked off by Cole Holcomb. And the Steelers are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. Just shy of midfield at the 48. Meanwhile, this one knocked down in the backfield. It's incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact.
There he goes, right side. And he will be taken down, but not before he gets this to the Browns' 20. 112 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. So a big play as it gets him all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
On 2nd down, it's Chapman. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. All right, so they got that one, Charles, against the center.
And let's remember how difficult it is for the center, because remember, he's got to snap the ball to put the play in motion, and sometimes you got that big guy on your nose. You got sometimes where he's coming at you at an angle. It's a difficult job for him to snap the ball and then execute his block.
A strong broken tackle on that one. And then they get him to the ground just shy of the 15. So 8 yards on the completion there, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Off play action. Pickett. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete. They'll turn things over to Brandon Aubrey now for the field goal. From the right hash, this from 33. And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. Well, the only silver lining on the other sideline, CD, is that they kept him out of the end zone, but still, that's another 3 points added on to this large lead.
Yeah, no shortage of scoring or big plays on defense in this one. And even up by 4 possessions, still finding ways to create opportunities and capitalize with points.
And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The Cleveland offense ready to go. It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't want to admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest?
And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Isaiah Rodgers. And the Steelers are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Pickett now from the gun here. He finds Pickens over the middle. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. 22 yards on the catch and run, a 1st down. They'll try the left side. Chapman. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. That time they're able to bottle him up, but he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage, but you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them.
Meanwhile, Pickett's thrown into the hands of Pickens. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down.
There's a beautiful throw there, and he's been sensational the entire game, moving it around, spreading it, hitting the right guys. And look, under normal situations, partner, I would expect him to come out of the game now. They've got it in hand. But you and I have been around this league a long time, and every time we ask head coaches about it, hey, why don't you take your quarterback out when the game's in hand? They just got to give us that look like that's what he's paid to do. So it's a very unusual situation. I want him out. They tend to leave him in.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. 2nd and goal from the 6 this time.
2nd and goal at the 6-yard line.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
Pickett now, 3rd and goal. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
I'm actually looking at this play with defensive eyes here, partner, because they were still laser focused on him after his earlier exploits on this drive. I think they went back to the well just a little bit too soon. He got across the line of scrimmage, but they certainly weren't giving up much more than that.
And this will be caught, and the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. And when coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back through the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but... And now here's another interception. Picked up by Joey Porter Jr. Another great play defensively. They've been sharp on both sides of the ball, Charles, but that interception means that this defense very well keep them down to single digits on the scoreboard in this game.
And that's certainly something to smile about, isn't it, partner, if you're on defense? Because your goal every game is to pitch a shutout, but you and I both know that's pretty unrealistic. But to hold a team below double figures in a game, in an NFL game, that's certainly something to take pride in.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now Pickett changing the play. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. At this juncture, CD, you normally see teams pack in the passing game. They've got the huge lead. Not them, though. They're still taking their shots.
I remember reading in past history, there was a college football coach in the Hall of Fame whose nickname was Close the Gates of Mercy.
And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. It's J.O.K. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah in there for the sack. And this one is right through. And that will extend their lead even further. They come through with 3 after forcing the turnover. But CD, second half, you're starting inside the red zone. Obviously, they would have liked 6 out of that.
Absolutely, because that's all you're thinking is how do you get it into the end zone? You want the field goal to be the last resort. In this case, they gave it a great try, but did have to settle for 3.
At their own 19-yard line.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
18 Rattler.
Second down and inches. And my goodness, another interception. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six for a Steeler touchdown. Well, what has been a fantastic game for this defense has been rough for this offense, and certainly a signal caller, Charles, that's thrown all these interceptions. Another one there, and this one taken all the way back for the score.
Partner hoping they're holding a nice little spot in the post-game highlights to show this rip of interceptions and great plays this group has made. They've been on it from snap one.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 28-yard line, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone gets him 3 more. The Browns drive about to get started. Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is end the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, and with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
60 Maverick. Go.
They'll look to throw now on first down.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. That's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
18, Pioneer. Ready.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Throwing left side, it's complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 33 yards that time.
Let's go. Panther 11. Ready, go.
They'll look to throw again. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
That incompletion brings us one step closer to the end of this one. Maybe mercifully, partner. And let's face it, though, no surprise, they're still flinging it around. They have pride, too.
Here's 2nd and 10. Now they'll change things around before the snap. Back to throw again. Now he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
This has obviously been a bad loss, but one of the few things they can still do is try and throw the ball all the way to the end zone and get some points on the board so they're not shut out over the final 2 quarters of this game.
And he's going to come up well short as they rally up to stop him at about the 16. They'll get a couple of yards on the keeper, but it's going to lead to a 4th down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
No choice but to go. Here's 4th down now. Oh, look at this play call. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Oh, one of the linebackers has got it. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. And one of the whistles for timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Oh, I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
He's got this to Pickens, and he'll take this across the 25 before going